So I got my new battery from Interstate a couple days ago. It looks funny almost. Such a nice new battery in an old motorhome. The rust and the wood rot. Okay, that's not as rotted as it looks. It's still pretty sturdy. There is an issue in this though. This here, you've probably seen in my other videos if you've watched them. It connects into the power system and creates the 12 volt for some of the house stuff. I have a separate battery under my bed that runs my TV and one of my fans and charged my phone, and most of my house stuff is run off of a separate battery. But this one does control a few things, and it's going to control the second vent fan that I'm going to put in eventually. So I might have to replace that box because it shocked me, or dig under these wires and see if they're touching each other somewhere or bare or something. I don't know. I've also got to get in here and replace this ground cable. Shouldn't be more than $10. It's fairly short. The positive cable, on the other hand, it's a lot longer. It's going to cost more, but it's still in fairly good condition. I can get away with replacing just the post on that one. So yeah, now that we've got a battery in here again, we can go ahead and start installing the clearance lights. It's one of the nice things about old motorhomes. Everything is just really simple. Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot of mechanical know-how to be able to fix these, because there's no computerized shit. It's all, very mechanical and basic electrical. But anyways, this, even though it's only a group 24 and I wanted a group 27, I guess they didn't have the 27s, it's still got plenty of juice. It starts this thing up just fine. So I bought the wrong kind of clearance lights. I saw two wires coming out here, so I assumed one was positive and one was negative. But I was wrong. These are like the clearance lights on my old RV. These are both positive. They keep the line going, and then it's supposed to ground out by touching the frame. I bought the type of clearance lights that have an actual positive and negative ground wire. So you can see here one of the old ones. This screw goes through this little piece and then grounds into the aluminum. The problem with that is, as this hole wears out over the years from vibrations, it doesn't make a good ground anymore. That's why I hate this fucking system. I can make these work, but it's going to be a big pain in the ass now. What I'll end up doing is wiring these two back together with some new wire nuts so it keeps the line going down to the next. And then I'm going to have to buy some little metal ends for this that I can put on here and ground it right to the frame, which by doing so should work at least for a few years. But damn it, I was hoping I'd just be able to connect them right into the two wires. Then when I'm done with all of this, I've got to get in here, and of course it's supposed to start raining tomorrow morning. I should come up and throw some silicone on that frickin' hole right now. But I've got to mount this to where all these wires aren't showing too bad, and where all of this is sealed. So I've got my work cut out for me, and oh, I almost just fell off of this damn thing. And we're going to do this all the way around. Top, bottom, front. Then I've got to move on to these things. They're not quite as important. You'd think I'd be spray painting it, but believe it or not, if I tried to spray paint it, I could fix anything on the engine. But you give me a can of spray paint, it's going to come out with weak spots and runs, and I cannot paint if my life depended on it. Never could. Can't draw a straight line either. No artistic talent whatsoever. Well, at least not with, pen, paper, brush, that kind of crap. So yeah, these aren't quite as urgent, but I'd like to get in there and I'll probably do this soon, tighten that down. But they come on and off of their own free will. Well, they don't come on unless the switch is on. But if you turn the switch on, they don't always come on. Then sometimes they'll come on later and you forgot you had the switch on, and it's just kind of a big pain in the butt. The connections in this thing, after being 40 years old, those bulbs aren't going to sit good on that. I could get in there and clean it up, but it's just not worth it. And the cost of a new old style one versus the cost of a new LED one, it's a no-brainer. So, and then we've still got to, I live in SoCal. I haven't had rain in what feels like a decade, but we've got to find blades for this windshield wiper at some point. A few things to do, but yeah. Anyways, do whatever you want, even if it's not how you want, and don't let anyone tell you you can't.